Sparkle never knew how or why she received the destiny glyph. All she could gather was that she received it sometimes after the rainbow shockwave struck her through the tiny hole into the sky. She did not remember what happened immediately afterwards, but for certain time had passed, and she recalled being carried on the strong back of her older brother. She wasn't sure if he was talking to her, and if he did, she could not understand him through all the pounding noise of sine waves and low rumbles. During that time, Trixie had galloped along his side, facing Sparkle with a deathly frightened look on her face. She must be the one who ran for Shining Armor's help. No pony spoke of that event, and it was likely Trixie and Shining Armor advised every pony not to tell Sparkle about it. Sparkle later learned that an earthquake had occurred during that day when she took Trixie to see the pillar of light leading into the open sky. She had a deep feeling that she was the cause. And yet no pony wanted to put such blame on a young filly, especially since she was the chieftain's daughter. Since that time, Shining Armor began acting distant towards his own sister, and it was not long when he suddenly left the village. Now that she remembered, Sparkle remembered her mother sealing herself up in her room and crying away. Not too long after that, Velvet began the harsh training upon her daughter, just as she did upon her departed son when Nightlight had left her. Today, though, Sparkle woke up in a cot in her secret cave. Her eyes regained focus, and turning her head, she saw Applejack tying up saddlebags filled possibly with fresh supplies such as food, a medical kit, and other tools for survival. She was naked this time and without her hat, which sat on top of her folded duster coat on a nearby metal table Sparkle had assembled long ago. "Sugar Cube?" Applejack asked. "You awake?" Yeah," replied the unicorn. "Why am I here?" "Your ma regained consciousness after you got knocked out because of your own injuries. Then she ordered me to take care of you. Now, none of the other unicorns wanted to help me take care of you, and seeing as they're still bitter about me leading the clones here, I figured I'd retrace my steps back here." "How long was I out?" "A few days. Good thing that Minuet gal is the only unicorn I could still talk to and get food and supplies from, but I figured she was more concerned for your well-being than mine." "So, I won?" "You must have had one lucky last shot against Velvet. Or all that training finally paid off. Well, since you're awake, I can tell your unicorn folks that they can begin the inheritance ceremony thing. Otherwise, they think I've run off with you." "Ceremony? Why am I attending an inheritance ceremony?" "Don't know, Sugar Cube, 'cause I ain't accustomed to unicorn tradition. But your ma is quite gung-ho in making sure it takes place as soon as you came to. I tried telling her that you still need rest, but I did want to hear it. I tell you, this is one mother I would not piss off." "It's just like her," Sparkle grumbled. "At least you have a mother." Applejack threw on herself her duster coat and her hat, and covered her Element of Truth necklace with a blue bandana. With Applejack trotting off, Sparkle could finally breathe a sigh of relief. It was one thing for Applejack to be embarrassed about her nudity, but then she would turn around and parade exposed flanks so much that Sparkle became the one embarrassed. For a mare, Applejack had a handsome build, but several scars seen in various parts of her body confirmed the harsh lives she had thus far. 3 apples. That was her destiny glyph, nature's call, as the Earthians referred to as such. Sparkle barely got back on her horse when Applejack, Velvet, and the unicorn entourage arrived. "No pony help her," Velvet said, motioning her eyes towards Applejack. "It could be unbecoming of the inheritor to acquire assistance walking for her ceremony." "Can't believe you. I'm still very sore." Then again, Velvet was likely sore as well, but the way she poised herself appeared as if the magic duel had not taken place. Still, the lingering resentment within Sparkle gave her strength to advance towards her mother and follow her and the entourage back to the ruined village of Unicornia. Most of the temple had been spared from the attack, though there was now a large hole in the northeast corner of the ceiling. The damaged structure did not prevent any unicorns from filling the hall. Sparkle had no reason to attend her own inheritance ceremony, and she figured out her own mother wanted to send her daughter off as soon as possible, but not without going through the ritual and traditions of anointing marehood. It wasn't like she couldn't just run away with Applejack. As strange as it appeared, the Earth Pony seemed like she was following Velvet's order to the letter, but not necessarily for the chieftain's sake. So Sparkle, still sore from the duel, set off to the side while her mother orated her speech. Many days ago, we have been gripped with a terrible tragedy befalling our village. We have lost many lives, but wherever the blame may lie, there will be no bringing back the dead. However, there's a greater tragedy than that of another invasion of the Earthians, and that is the elements of creation. In the right hooves, the element of creation possess the ability to rid the world of evil and allow us to resurface once more. But in the wrong hooves, the element of creation are capable of destroying the world, which will finally wipe out all unicorns. Whether we remain in hiding for 1,000 years, the appearance of the element of truth has been prophesied by the great star swirl, and we must take action that prophecy will not result in our ultimate end. Thus, it is my great honor and duty that I, Twilight Velvet, bequeath upon Dame Sparkle the namesake of our greatest ancestor. Henceforth you shall be named from here on Twilight Sparkle. The entire audience gasped, and the temple erupted in murmurs. Sparkle was just as surprised. No pony ever bequeathed the name Twilight to just any pony lightheartedly. It wasn't just a name, but the title and a living representation of the most powerful unicorn in unicorn history, far surpassing that of Starswell the Bearded and Clover the Clever combined. Amongst the whispers in the audience was that Velvet had finally gone mad after all the losses of her ponies, and they had even said that her insanity finally came in full swing after the disappearance of Nightlight and Shining Armor. The inheritance ceremony is now over. Please return to your homes. Mother, whispered Sparkle, are you sure you want to give me that name? I have been meaning to give you that name for quite some time. Then that means the prophecy. It means that there is a 1 in 2 chance the world will be destroyed. Earthian. It's Applejack, replied the orange mare. Are your things ready? Ready as a coiled rattlesnake. Of course. Twilight Sparkle, you must leave immediately with Applejack and give meaning to your destiny glyph. I don't ever want to see you here ever again. That's it? You're just going to order me to leave? There are no hugs, no tears, nothing? If I ever show any compassion for you, it will cause others to question my leadership over what remains of my village. Did you not admit that it was you who brought the Earthian to our side of the chasm and caused the clones to kill many unicorns, foals and all? I barely managed to convince every pony else to spare you as long as you leave this village along with the Earthian. Be warned that if you ever attempt to come back, I will not hesitate to drown you in the waters of the chasm. The same will go for Nightlight and Shining Armor, should they dare return after all these years. I can't believe you would say such a thing. We're your family. I cannot put personal attachments before the village. I can't believe what I'm hearing. An inheritance ceremony is supposed to be the happiest moments of a pony's life, but you just don't care, do you? You never cared for us. Father, brother, and now me. No, you're not my mother. My mother died a long time ago. The tears finally burst from her eyes, and Sparkle sent herself running and wailing. Her hoofs took her through the cavern mazes and straight into her secret cave, where angrily she packed whatever she needed into her own saddlebags. Whoa there, Sugar Cube, cried Applejack as she arrived right behind her. Don't run too far. We gotta keep close together or you'll accidentally knock yourself out. Hurry up and pack, said Sparkle. There's nothing left for me here anymore. First my father, my brother, my best friend, and now my mother. They're all gone. But your mother, she's not my mother. Applejack threw a firm hoof slap across Sparkle's snout. Get a hold of yourself. Sure, she said some mean words, but I know she has a reason to do so. She has never acted like a mother. Ever since my father disappeared, she put my brother through nothing but painful misery. It's no wonder he left. At least Miss Velvet giving you her approval to leave. You have to think of it this way, Sugar Cube. In her own way she loves you, but she is right that she has to take care of the village. But she can't do that while you're causing trouble and bringing strange mares home. She knows that you're the one of the most powerful unicorns she has ever seen, and I can attest to that. I nearly killed you. No, I saved you, and you saved me twice. And you saved your village. That's reason enough for Velvet to give you the title Twilight, and for you to leave so you can stop the clones from exterminating more unicorns in the future. What we faced was just the first wave. They will be back, but if we stir up some trouble in the surface, they're gonna think we're the ones who did it. We've been given an important mission to save the world, and we've gotta fulfill it. Did my mother order you to do that? Nah, I'm just making up as I go along, but I'm praying that Velvet and I see eye to eye. Say, didn't you just say we gotta hurry up and leave? Thank you, Applejack. Huh? For what? I know that we just met, but with Trixie gone, the only other pony I could now rely on is you. Whoa, don't get all too sappy. Just remember, I'm a wanted criminal. And I'm a unicorn who's supposed to be extinct. Sparkle's tears finally dried, and she shared a light chuckle with Applejack. She still hated her mother, but at least she was not there to ruin this tender moment or obstruct her journey. The two mares did not have pack heavy, but they all loaded their saddlebags onto the bed of the hover truck Applejack had managed to fix up to full capacity. Somberly Sparkle took one last look at a secret cave of overworld treasures. She still remembered the joys of fishing out her trinkets from the murky waters of the chasm, with each one eliciting exciting speculation on what tool and device did which and how it would improve pony life. This would be the last time she would ever see it, and even as she sealed it with a rock face, she would not mind if some other pony, hopefully one of her village, would discover and make use of her treasures. This was nothing compared to the real treasures of above. With dark cloak thrown over her body, Sparkle joined Applejack in the passenger seat as the hover truck brought to life. Navigating through the winding tunnels, they soon emerged into the great chasm, and to their surprise, every unicorn from the village stood on the many protruding ledges to wave a stoic goodbye to one of their own. Sparkle looked left and right, but she did not see her mother. She's out there watching you, said Applejack. That's the honest truth. Sparkle snorted, but then again it was best. She had too many seething feelings about her mother, and she did not want to ruin the joyous departure as she finally crossed the other side. Hey, Applejack. Yeah? Call me Twilight from now on. Sure thing, Sugar Cube. No, it's not Sugar Cube, it's Oh, never mind. Move along, cried Velvet as she emerged from behind the crowds. There is much work to be done in our relocation. More clone soldiers will come by to patrol the area, so we must dig deeper than ever before. She lingered behind as the other unicorns went back into the caves, leaving only her and Minuet on one ledge of the chasm. You heard me, said Velvet. Chieftain, said Minuet, if I may voice my opinion, you let off Twilight Sparkle easy. I may not be as good as her or Trixie, but I can tell you were holding back just enough to let your daughter win. Whatever you do, you mean. I lost my eye in the battle against the Earthian clones, and because of that, Twilight Sparkle demonstrated a clear advantage over me. Now, Minuet, as you are now the first Maggie sister of our clan, please set a better example and not dawdle here any longer. Yes, Chieftain.